Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am Sean Cromwell, creator of Smacked in the Head, the animated series comic, hopefully crowdfunding soon, and host the random back issue of comics on this very YouTube channel. And this is my co-host. You know him as
the Lunar Man.
Nice.
Thank you.
Yeah, what's up? How you doing?
Not much. How you doing?
I've been in the sun all day. I was in a pool, but I was still in the sun all day. And I'm a little drained all of a sudden.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah.
I went out there for a while with the kid, but it was just too hot for us to do too much. Like maybe 10 minutes we'd spend outside. We'd be like, all right, let's go inside. Get hydrated.
It was weird too, because every time I swam from one side to the other, there were pockets of cold and then there was pockets of hot. And I'm like, I don't understand how this is happening if the sun is just shining down on it constantly.
Right.
Yep. Well, that's the show.
Well, awesome.
Yeah.
One second.
Yeah. All right. All right. Where's my pirate? We need to finish that. Sean Art. Nobody watches this show. It's cool. You're muted if you're trying to.
I said nothing.
Okay.
Ugh, sorry.
Growing up?
No, I drank
What'd you puke?
My tea went down the wrong hole, and I was like gagging and coughing, and I couldn't figure out what was going on for a second.
So then I puked.
I had to hack up a big thing of air. Oh. No, just air.
Well, that's not thrilling at all.
No, not at all.
Yeah. So, yeah. Oh, so the random back issue comics, Wolverine number 28, I said I was going to do on that, that update.
Yeah.
I tried reading it the other night. I swear I fell asleep 17 times.
Jesus.
Upright. I was just like sitting there.
Well, give me a short synopsis of Wolverine 28.
He ends up on an island that he was swimming to for some reason. He has no memory.
Is this a part 1, part 2 of a story, or is this just
2 of 4?
Okay. And it's number 28.
Yeah.
So 25 is usually a milestone comic. So something happened there. So this
you would recognize the
27. This is 2 issues later. Okay.
This is Lazarus Project. Lazarus. I don't know how to spell that. Wolverine. You would recognize this cover because I'm when I was thinking about doing this, I was like, I should get all 4 of them and review them.
The whole thing.
Yeah. No, because this is a fairly famous cover.
Yeah.
And that's expensive. Number 28 is this one. Why is it acting wacky? Okay, great. Where'd they go? Thank you. Number 28
Sorry.
is this one, which has an amazing cover. It's just a shame
Yeah, I
that
love
the
that
comic is so slow that I was just like,
I think I remember. Are they in Japan?
I think he
Jubilee
ends
part
up
of it?
no, not in this one.
Not that one. Okay. Shadowcat.
Well, maybe she is. There's some like Asian chick that goes to the island, but she looks too old to be Jubilee.
Yeah, Jubilee always stayed about 14 to about 17. She never really aged past that.
Yeah. And then there's something about like this golden egg contraption thing that everyone's getting shot over. They slaughter the village after he makes friends with the village, so then he goes crazy and I guess he suddenly gets his memory back because like the last frame he has his claws out, whereas before trying to save a guy from a shark and he's like, I need to help them and I feel like there's something else I could do, and I'm like, snicked.
And he doesn't go crazy; he goes berserk.
Yeah, same thing.
So at the end, he goes
crazy berserker
rage.
Yeah, but you don't get to see that in this issue, which was another moment where I fell asleep at the end.
Yeah, amnesia stories are usually boring because you're like waiting the whole time for him to remember something major for him to do. Like you're waiting for him to pop his claws on accident, maybe the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
Because the way his mutation works, technically, is he's conscious of holding those claws in. If he relaxes his muscles, they just pop out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's a
so maybe he didn't even remember. Maybe just at the end of the thing,
it's instinct.
He's like, and it just goes.
Yeah, I mean,
like the next frame is him freaked out by it. He's just
like, "What the hell is
that?"
I mean, nowhere in it did he get hurt, and it was like he had a healing factor.
Yeah, no. Well, he got shot. He was like jumping, and then a silhouette starts doing this dance in the air, and then they cut to a shot where it's like his head on the ground, a side view. And then another shot where his eyes open. He's got like blood on his forehead or something.
Right.
And then shortly later, claws. End of story. 17 times. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it is kind of hard to read. That's one of my problems with reading the old issues. It's like you already know who's going to survive because you're just going back and rereading some stuff or reading stuff for the first time.
I assume everyone's going to survive, so I never really in their comic books. So I never really cared if.
I meant like later on. I think it's safe to say that characters do survive, but there's certain characters that are not the same characters as they used to be. Like there's Wolverine has been written by so many different people that he has been different characters.
Sure.
Same thing with all the other ones: Gambit, Rogue.
I suppose
Spider-Man.
Bound to happen.
Yeah, that they're just different, even though they have to stay the same borderline of what this character is and what he can do. They still change it up into their style. And sometimes he's better, and sometimes he's worse. They're worse.
It's all for the worse. Yeah. Anyway.
Hollow Moon.
Hollow Moon or Hologram Moon.
Graham.
Hologram.
Oh, hologram, yeah. Or a hologram. Hollow or hologram. But if it's hologram, would that make us hologram, or is it like a reflection hologram from the Earth?
I think they think it is a reflection from the Earth.
Oh, okay.
I saw some dumb thing where those dark spots on the moon, people were like, look, it's a reflection because that looks like the United States and that looks like this continent. Yeah, that type of thing. And they're like, that's Australia. And I'm like, you people are doing too much dope.
Or not enough.
Come back around the horn. I do find this to be very clever, though. When I was searching for hologram moon, somebody did hologram moon stickers. And I was like, that's brilliant. Well played, sir or madam.
Yes. Yeah, I just don't get that one. I mean, I could believe more of a hologram universe.
Yep.
Than I could of just the moon being a hologram of the Earth.
Yep. Yep. Well, even before we started this, I was watching, listening to the Y-Files again talk about the moon being hollow. And that's such a good episode. Everyone should just stop this and go watch that. They got 3 million views. They need the help.
All right, well, what about the hollow moon? What makes it hollow?
They would make
like it's an egg?
Like it's a spaceship that came here from somewhere else.
Parked itself? Because we're the only planet that has one?
Well, there's lots of
talking about in our solar system.
Like, oh yeah, I don't know. Sure, probably.
I think we're the only planet with one satellite.
Yeah, because everything else has like 2 to 100.
You can't add Saturn, or is it Jupiter? One of them. You can't include them. That's like their own planetary solar, like, universe over there.
Well, they still have a lot of moons.
I think it's like up to 70 something now.
Maybe for Jupiter.
He's just like grabbing asteroids out of the thing, like yoink, you're a moon.
I know.
You're a moon.
Nice asteroid you got here. I know.
Yep. That's exactly what that thing does. That's fine. I'm fine with that. No. Let's collect moons. Let them collect moons.
Yeah, more power to you.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, there's lots of things with I guess there's like accounts from old civilizations that talk about remembering when the moon arrived and stuff. Yeah. It's a good video. You should watch it.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, the Earth, something smashing into Earth and the moon, like, ripping away.
That's what I always thought happened.
I mean, I'm like kind of that, and
or they formed at the same time from similar materials. But supposedly, the dirt on the outside of the moon is older than the stuff as you go deeper.
Well, yeah, I think we talked about this, how if something crashed in to the Earth, that dirt would be what is collected last around this new thing of this new gravitational thing. So all the new dirt is on top, and all the older stuff is on top, and all the newer stuff is inside.
Yeah.
And then also, it does not have an atmosphere, and cosmic radiation is just atrocious to all things, basically.
Yeah.
So who knows what the hell it does to? Maybe it like re-younged the dirt or something, like Fantastic Four style.
Re-younged the dirt? Is that a scientific term?
I'm gonna go yes.
Rejuvenated, maybe.
Re-unjuvenated.
I don't know.
Because it's radiation. It's kind of like destroying it and then ringing it back.
I don't know. But they have crashed crap into it.
Yes.
And with every mission after Apollo 12, additional seismic calibrations were obtained by aiming the Saturn SIVB stage to impact the selected point on the moon. After separation from the spacecraft, the seismic vibrations from these impacts lasted about 3 hours.
Yeah.
A whole moon rang like a bell for 3 hours.
Yeah, well, I mean, you can do that here on Earth, too. We can feel our shockwaves from, like, if we make them powerful enough, we can feel the shockwaves around the world. But is that because we sit on, like, a semi-liquid mantle core that like floats everything
after a while? It's not gonna ring.
No.
If it was hollow inside, then the surface is gonna continue to vibrate. But if it has like a liquid and then a solid core, I feel like
let's say it did have an iron core like Earth, because it got part of our core or whatnot. It got the sister core, planet's core. It got part of a core. And it started spinning, and it was going to form into its own little moon planet, mini planet.
Yes.
But then it kind of died. because it didn't get enough spin.
Hmm.
And then it just, so it's got a little iron core, but then it just melted. It didn't melt all the way, so it kept the form of a sphere, but it's hollow because all the shit leaked out. So it does have a solid center, maybe. I'm just throwing shit out there.
Look what I can do.
Yeah, look what I can do. I can come up with shit. I can make your conspiracy theory.
I have conspiracy theory. I got no conspiracy.
I said I can make them.
Oh, make them up. Gotcha.
They're not made up if you use scientific fiction facts.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Scientific fiction facts.
Yes.
Got it. Love it. The best.
They are.
Man, I'm really tired. Just sitting in the sun. That's
It's draining. It's very healthy, but it's still draining. It's supposed to rejuvenate you, and it doesn't.
Well, hopefully it kills whatever the last of this cold is.
Yeah, get some vitamin D in you.
That's what she said. Density, moon ring like a bell.
Moon rings?
Oh, here's a visual representation of what that might look like. Wait. Speculative cutaway model of a spaceship moon. Present. I can't believe Jason Black's not here. We make this joke about you still believe in the moon?
And we do this whole episode about the moon, and oh well.
Gone. I will shame him next time.
Well, that's interesting. I mean, I'm down for like it being a spaceship, like Death Star type stuff, but
I just
don't see it.
Did you watch like the first however many episodes of Enterprise?
Yeah, I got all the way to the 4th season. I finished Enterprise.
Okay, so they have there's an episode where they go to a Vulcan sanctuary. Yes. It's called the Andorian Incident. And
yes, I remember that one.
Jeffrey
Combs
from Reanimator fame and from Beyond.
And from Star Trek fame, he was in every single one of them.
Yeah.
Something.
If you've ever
multiple
heard of that show.
Times.
And then he's an Andorian, he comes in with his dudes and they raid the place, and Archer's there, and he's like, this isn't right, or whatever, blah, 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 blah. He gets involved, as the Archer do. Yep. And then the Andorians are like, they're spying on us, and it violates our treaty and stuff. And then eventually they go down the catacombs, and they find a secret listening station.
Yes.
It looks like this, basically, to me. Like walkways leading to a central core, and then just stuff around. It's just what it makes me think of.
Yeah, I mean, I'm all down for futuristic technology that we have no inkling here on Earth about.
Oh yeah.
Except for the government doing UFO tests.
So sick of the government. There's a group of people that need to be slapped in the face.
That'd be fun.
Yeah, everyone line up and take a swing. I think it was Curly from the Stooges. I think he got slapped in the face so many times that it eventually caused him to have a stroke. I might be misremembering that.
He might. Kid knocked everything over.
Hooray!
Hooray!
Cause of death. Stroke. Present. Share screen. Window. Curly.
Stroke.
Curly's health continued to deteriorate. About what? Clear cannot return. All time. Curly remained until his death of cerebral hemorrhage. Oh, I feel weird even reading those words. From additional strokes. Jesus. Wait, which one's Curly? Curly's the bald one, right? Yeah.
I don't think he was bald at first, though. If I remember correctly.
This guy.
Yeah.
It's been a long time since I watched the Three Stooges.
Yeah.
Niagara Falls. Slowly I turn.
And then wasn't it Curly who left because he just couldn't take it anymore?
Well, this says that he had health issues, and that's
so he just couldn't take it.
Shemp came in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, my favorite thing about the Stooges is that Sam Raimi always puts people listed in his movies as like fake Shemp. You'll have like 15 different fake Shemps. Oh my god, it's a magic eye.
No, it should be just like snow. But watch it be a magic eye that says like some like racist derogatory terms and shit that I'm just like blasting out because I can't do the magic eye. So if it is, I am so sorry.
I can, but the fact that it's on an angle is messing with it. No, not getting anything.
Okay, good.
I don't think. Give me a minute. I'll see whatever you want me to see. We were at the pool and have you ever heard of the color game?
The colored game?
Color game. You're holding someone like a baby and you're thinking of a color, they guess a color. Every time they get it wrong, you dunk their head.
No.
This is new to me too. I just found out about it like 3 hours ago.
No.
So my brother-in-law is holding his fiance and she keeps guessing wrong. He keeps dunking her. And I was like, isn't this how you torture people? Or don't you just do this to your enemies? And they're like, oh,
they
no.
called that the washing machine, and like my uncles would grab me as a kid and like, just like throw me under like that.
No. Well, apparently with this, even when you get it right, they flip you. And it's like, this is sadistic a little.
Yeah, that doesn't sound too fun.
No,
I'd rather like get on each other's shoulders and like try to battle it out. That sounds way more fun.
Well, we didn't really have a group willing to do that today.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, whatever. I don't care.
Yeah, you do.
Just get off of my nose. All right, we're out of topics. 22 minutes. That's a new record. No one's here anyway. What is it like? So I'm trying to do these consistently on Sundays at 5 p.m.
Right. Yeah.
We did one, and it was alright. We had an okay amount of viewers.
Well, school started, so it's kind of thrown everybody off.
Maybe that.
Even if you don't have kids, it's still adding traffic to the days. It's still adding. Everybody's shopping has changed. Everybody's trying to get into a new routine.
That stinks.
Yeah, they have to add a new routine to it now. Everybody's kind of like,
yeah,
they're got to get the kids ready for school tomorrow. Like I got to make sure the kid's backpack's all done. I've signed his progress, his daily progress.
Yeah.
Which apparently is just writing his name, which it's there. He can do it, but it's all over the place.
So are we gonna have to go into summer reruns and then start the new show on a new night?
No,
I'm just kidding.
I don't think so. I think we might just have to back it up a bit.
Maybe. But so we did the show, and then we had okay numbers, and then I did the draw stream by myself. I had like 8 people at one time, all at once, and I was like, what the F are you guys doing here? Gradually it fell to like 1. And I was like, well, I don't blame you because it's just me drawing. And then last week there was like 4. This week there's nothing.
Like I said, it's a whole new
savages
routine learning thing.
You might be right. That's very intuitive. With that, maybe.
Well, I mean, I work in customer service areas, not so much as a customer service representative, but in the areas where I see customers.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I see customers.
I see many flows and ebbs.
Yep.
This week has been just crazy. I haven't really been watching much.
Oh, right. I'm not out of topics. Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, I haven't been really watching much. There's not much really for me that I'm interested in watching.
We needed something to watch last night. Andrea put on Strange Days. Did you ever see that? Ralph Fiennes.
Oh, yes.
And Angela Bassett.
I think I was telling you about that. Is that the memory one?
Bassett. Angela Bassett.
The memory?
They got a hairnet thing, spider they put on their heads.
Yeah, I saw that in the theater.
They record their experience, and then they give it to a guy that used to be a cop to sell it basically as porn for whatever you're into. Like, oh, I want to know what it's like to rob a bank.
Yeah, exactly.
And then it's set in Los Angeles that doesn't look that much different than current Los Angeles does today.
Well, at the time it came out, I think it was like the future.
Yeah, well, it's on New Year's Eve, 1999.
Yeah.
It came out in like 1995. And I was like, they really were optimistic for what they thought the future was going to be. Because they're like, we can record everything. It's like being there. And then someone sends him a tape or a mini disc, Sony mini disc.
Yeah, no, those mini discs.
Oh, I love the mini disc. I really wish they had caught on here. Someone sends him a mini disc, and it's a guy killing, and I will say for the YouTube's sake, graping a woman.
Mm-hmm.
But she also has a hairnet thing on, recording her experience as she's getting the feed from the guy killing her's experience. And I was like, holy crap, that's effed up. I was like, this movie feels like it deserves a much better budget and maybe another director, because this has some high concepts in it that should have gotten more attention, I think, for sci-fi.
You were talking about a movie, and I had asked you, I said it sounds like Strange Days.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, no, it's something more like this. And I was like, okay.
Yeah, because I had never seen Strange Days. I just saw like clips and pictures.
It was a good movie for 1995. I thought it was really good.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe it didn't do well because I don't know when
it's a dystopian type thing for the 90s, and that just wasn't the. It just wasn't.
Also, I think
the theme for the 90s. They weren't.
Johnny Mnemonic came out at in the same year, so maybe
I love Johnny
saw
Mnemonic.
That and people were like,
bombed so bad.
Cheesy, I don't want to watch another one. But this
that's probably what they thought.
Holy crap! This one has some crazy ideas. It just takes it a while to get going.
Yeah, it starts off as like you don't know what it's going to be at first, some kind of like dirty cop thing.
Yeah,
and then it turns into like some kind of like sex thriller, and then it turns into a noir type dark web series thing. Yeah, really good.
I feel like the trailer was on a VHS that I used to watch a lot. So I always see this face from Ralph Fiennes. Oh, and then it's got the Sheriff of Nottingham's cousin. What's his face? Yeah. I never know his name. He's from The Crow and Alien Resurrection.
Yep. And he's gonna get his heart. He's got to go find a spoon. That's what he's doing.
Yeah. No, that's what the sheriff's doing. Well, at least I didn't use a spoon. When he kills his cousin.
Right.
Anyway.
I get you.
Yeah. And there's some boobs and stuff.
Yeah, good movie. Good
fun. Like this chick, I never personally thought she was all that attractive. She's naked a lot in it.
Who is she?
Julia. I don't know. Forget her last name. She's a crazy person now on Twitter and stuff.
It's called X.
X? Ecstasy?
It's called X. No, Twitter.
Oh, yeah, right. No one's ever going to call it.
Oh, I see. This is every time I'm reading articles online about stuff, and they're like, some articles are like calling it X, and then others are calling it X, formerly known as Twitter.
I pulled it up.
Some are just ignoring X altogether and calling it Twitter, but they still all call it tweets.
Yeah. Well, what else are you gonna call it? Are you gonna call it sheets?
He
I
wants
don't
them
know.
to call them X's.
Exodus.
That's what he wants them to be called.
It's
But I mean, a
dumb.
new
It's dumb.
tweet.
This is why CEOs are not in charge of
I
the
know, right?
marketing department.
It's like tweet definition was changed because of Twitter. Like,
Yeah.
or added, a new definition was added to the word tweet because of, and he wants to do the same thing basically.
Okay. Well, X's does not roll off the tongue.
No, not at all.
I would rather call it a post.
Yeah, right.
Juliette Lewis is that. Girl.
Yeah. Natural Born Killers.
Yeah. Yes.
She's always been a little crazy.
Yes, but now she has access to the internet like the rest of the weirdos, so she'll just start screaming.
Yeah, I think she's always been that way.
Yeah, probably.
Anyway,
I started this and I never finished it. Like 2 years ago, maybe.
And I watched it when it first had come out on VHS.
It's so funny to listen to them talk about like how many megabytes of memory can be held in his brain or something.
Yeah, I know, it's great.
And it's like, really? Or like
Star Trek does the same thing sometimes. It's so great to when they do that shit. It's funny.
Yeah.
I mean, they just didn't understand it. Even back in the 90s, they still didn't understand what was going to happen with the computers.
The internet.
Yeah, internet, computers altogether, about how much.
Yeah, it's.
They were under the impression that we're going to get to a certain point and the RAM is not going to be able to go any higher, and for more law, and we've already surpassed that like 10 times.
I would go back to the 90s in an instant of that way of living. I would much prefer it, and on a lot of levels.
What's the analog aspect?
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. We're watching.
Or just you being a teenager with no responsibilities.
No, I don't care about that. I'm not one of those people that's nostalgic because it's like, oh, I was a kid. I didn't have to have a job. It's like, I just helped my mom pay rent in high school. So I don't really nostalgic necessarily just because I was young. It's like, I just miss how life worked at that time. Like the quality of movies and entertainment and stuff. We've discussed this before where it's like, I always say the 90s were the last decade to have a personality or a look to them. Now everything is like a mishmash.
Oh yeah, there was nothing
homogenized thing. Because I think people are so absorbed into their phones, they're not thinking of their outward appearance. Unless they're a crazy psycho, then they're shaving their head, they're dyeing it, and they're screaming at you on Twitter. But like, there's like no fashion now. I don't.
Oh no.
There's no one. There's no giant Jenko pants. There's no.
No, they're tight jeans now.
Skinny jeans. Yeah, no. No, the hipster might have been the last time people tried to look like something unique, I guess. Now they just all try to look crazy or like the opposite sex. So I'd go back to the 90s because I liked when bands would be popular and they would influence fashion. As much as I hated all that crap growing up.
And I don't think there's any bands out there trying to.
There's no bands now.
Oh yeah, there hasn't been. It's just the old bands still trying to, like, live off of the retroness, which is fine if they can keep going. And by all means, let them keep going. That just means there's nothing new coming out to replace them, and that's
exactly. But that's like another symptom of the internet becoming such a big thing. It's like, what's the phrase? When you go digital, you kill your industry. That's what's happening to Hollywood now. They went to streaming, and everyone's like, how the F are you making money? And it's like, well, they really don't. They just want all the subscribers. Now they have to go back to ad-based revenue. So now all the streaming services are like, we're putting ads on all our crap. Because otherwise we can't keep making or getting new subscribers and stuff.
Oh yeah, they can't keep subscribers. They turned the subscribers
streaming
into cable.
We're going right back to cable.
Pretty much.
Except it'll be more obnoxious because my stupid TV will just turn off once in a while.
Oh
because
man,
I tried to turn up the volume.
Our TV in the living room, if you unplug, like if I plug in a USB
Mm-hmm.
and unplug it, sometimes the sound goes out when you go back to the like Fire Stick, and it's like, Jesus.
There's
My
so
TV's
many...
going. I do not want to buy a new TV.
Yeah. Well, this
At
isn't
all.
even going. It's just annoying.
No.
Like,
do you have it connected to the internet?
yeah,
You have
through
a smart TV?
yes, it is a Roku smart TV, and there's so many issues with it. Like,
I bet.
well, we have to unplug the whole TV to reboot it sometimes because it'll freeze on like stupid Netflix or something.
Right.
Or like, oh, and then for a while, our last problem that we finally solved was every time we would open Paramount Plus and start a movie, it would start automatically with descriptive audio. We were going nuts trying to figure out how to get it to stop until we finally found different audio tracks for like English, for whatever, English without regular English with narrative description, English with 5.1, English with 2.0. It's like, oh my God, I just want to, when I turn up the volume, I hit the button, I want it to go bloop, 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 bloop. I want to see the little blips at the bottom, like the old CRTs and crap.
Oh, I'm fine with a bar going up.
I just want it to respond.
Yeah, exactly.
Like they keep making everything smart, but it's more and more, it all just works more stupid.
Yeah, I don't want my TV connected to anything unless I connect it.
Yeah.
Should connect to the internet. It needs to be plugged into the wall,
and
I'll plug my DVD player into it. I'll plug a gaming system into it, and then I'll go through and watch whatever streaming services I want.
Yeah.
Through that stuff, not through the TV, because that shit's just bonkers.
I don't know if it's the TV or the DVD, the Blu-ray player. It pisses me off. I will start watching something and a banner comes up that says, "Want more ways to watch this movie?" No, I'm effing watching it now. You a-hole, get off my screen.
That's crazy.
I hate streaming so goddamn much.
And then I saw that all the streaming services are actually raising all their prices.
Yeah, because they have to, because none of them were making money, but they all wanted to make their own thing. But it's like, they used to just license all this stuff out to each other and generate revenue. Like,
well, they used to just license it out to the streaming services that were pretty much handling it all. Like Netflix wasn't a streamer; they were a video rental, and then they just said, "Oh, we can put all these online, and people can watch it that way."
Yeah, like I can't understand.
And it just morphed into craziness.
I can't understand why these CEOs were like, "We need to have our own streaming service," and it's like, well, sure, you want to be able to control your content, but you're only going to get so many subscribers. You cannot create more humans.
Yeah. How do we get more people? Let's raise the prices. Yeah, no one's going to.
Yeah. This feels like comic books. It's like the stories are shit. Let's raise the prices and do a lot of variant covers.
Yep.
And it's like, that's not going to save your company, man.
Nope.
Someone is breaking into my apartment as we speak.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah. What are we talking about? Johnny Mnemonic. Yeah, I'd go back to the 90s.
I wouldn't mind visiting, but I don't think I'd want to hang around too long.
Why not? You could kill Hitler.
In the 90s?
Yeah, I'm sure he was in, Brazil or something.
Oh, yeah, probably. He's probably frozen with Disney.
Maybe.
Maybe.
At least the same technology.
Where do you think Disney got the technology?
I'm willing to concede that point. I have heard, though, that him being anti-Semite was a slur used against him especially because he was so anti, crap, what's the word? The guilds. Union, anti-union, and actually anti-communist. So that's all Hollywood's filled with. So yeah, they would slur him as much as they could, especially if there was a lot of Jewish business owners that owned studios back in the day. Let's try and slime him. I don't know.
I know.
Disney himself, I've softened my opinion on over the years, but the company as a whole.
No, I didn't. I wasn't saying. It was more like Operation Paperclip, where they just took all the scientists that came over from.
Well, that's why I was.
And then he took the technology to freeze himself. That's what I meant.
That's why I was willing to concede that maybe they were like, we're taking all the German stuff, and now we're having a flea market. Everything must go. And he's like,
that mine. Yeah. Dibs.
I'm sorry. What is that? Put it in my truck. I will take that in my shopping cart, please.
Yeah. Oh yeah, but once he died and left, the company just went to shit.
60 something.
Yeah, 7.
I don't remember.
What was I saying?
Well, it was okay.
The last thing he wrote was Kurt Russell dead.
Oh yeah.
It's like, why?
I just saw a clip the other day of Kurt Russell kicking Elvis Presley in the shins.
Oh yeah.
He walks up to him. He's like, "Hey kid, kick me in the shins, and I'll give you a nickel or something." And he's like, "Why?" And then he just kicks him in the shins.
Wasn't he in front of Space Mountain?
Probably. I don't know. I don't even know what movie that was.
An Elvis movie? An Elvis Disney movie?
I don't think Elvis was in a Disney movie.
Oh, obviously he was, because Kurt Russell was a Disney kid.
All right, one thing at a time to look up, and I'm already typing.
No, come on, word. ADD. You got to do all of it at once.
Did Disney die? 66. You were close. You would not have won both showcases, but I'll still give it to you.
Counts in horseshoes and hand grenades.
I like that quote. Actually, I'll give you both because you were close, but not entirely.
Hey, I can live with that.
The other thing was, is Elvis in a
Disney movie?
Because Elvis is being distributed by Warner Brothers Pictures. If all that doesn't.
You're thinking of the Elvis. They probably picked up Elvis, the biopic that just recently came out.
No,
not too long ago. No.
Oh, it was a young, 10-year-old Kurt.
Oh, I know. I think the Google is just picking up on Elvis, the most recent Elvis thing, which would have been that Elvis biopic, and that's why it was done by Warner Brothers.
Well, it also pulled up Lilo and Stitch, so you might be right.
Yeah.
How about we do what movie was Elvis in with Kurt Russell?
There you go. That's how you get around that algorithm.
I hate algorithms. Do you remember
you got to be smarter than the algorithm. You can't just be like, "What's this, this, and this" anymore.
Oh,
you have to be like,
because
it's almost like doing Common Core fucking math. You have to go backwards. It's fucking weird. You just have to be a little. You have to just. Yeah, I don't know how to describe it. You just got to outthink the algorithm of being, but the algorithm's stupid, so it's not too hard to do.
Yeah. It happened at the World's Fair, maybe.
Maybe that's what it was.
Videos. Kurt Russell. Yeah, that's probably it. Actually, I think that is it.
Let's just ask Kurt Russell.
Hey, Kurt.
Find his Instagram or his ex.
I don't think he has it, and that's probably why everyone still loves him. That and he's old school and sounds like a sensible person. Like when all those actors start spouting their BS, he's like, I think we shouldn't do this because it ruins the illusion when people go to the theater to watch a movie for escapism. We don't want them to associate whatever our opinions are with whatever.
And that's what's canceling a lot of people. Like I've talked to a few people, and I mentioned an actor, and they're like, "Oh, that guy's an asshole," and I'm like,
"I think you're talking about me because that's."
Oh no, other people I've talked to, but no, for something they said online, it's like so they won't watch that movie, and it's I had no idea about it. I'm like, yeah, they might be an asshole in life, but I'm going to watch a movie. I mean, they got paid. They're not getting a percentage of the movies. they got their money already, so go and enjoy the movie.
I got it. No, but the studio should suffer if they're gonna.
Oh, I agree.
Be a-holes. And then even the studios are like, we hate our customers and we don't want to hire fans to.
That's what I'm saying. They don't
write
care.
stuff. They
It's
just want the money.
capitalism is more important than satisfying the fan base.
It's greed. It's not capitalism. I will grant that capitalism has it works very well to a point, and then you need something to fix the problem.
But, okay, I use the word capitalism because there's no word for what it's just not the greed either. It's both of greed and capitalism mixed together that is just fueling these people's
and unchecked. There needs to be a cap on certain things.
Right.
I always say, well, a few times I've said to Andrea, I like capitalism to a point, but I feel like sometimes you need to set a standard or trim something down. Like, you can't let a business get so crazy enormous. I compare it to your yard. You don't just let it grow out of control.
No, and that's where like you get HOAs come in and start saying it can't be like this and it has to be like this, and you can't.
But then there's another consolidation of power that can be corrupted, and it's like that doesn't work either. So
I know it's like, so where does it?
F is the solution?
Exactly. Like you can't have like, but okay, so you say a business. So okay, so you say the government has to come in now and take over that business, or
I'm just saying you have to like break it up. Once you reach a certain cap, it should disperse or something and become lots of little businesses.
That's pretty fucked up. Like, I spent my life building this thing up, and now I have to break it.
And you're a billionaire that has more money than you will ever spend in your entire life. I'm just saying. I don't know. I don't have a solution.
I know, and I'm not asking you to have a solution. I'm just trying to understand. Let's take Amazon, for example, because he stepped down. He's no longer the CEO. He's.
Oh, really? I didn't hear that.
Oh, yeah. It's been like 2-3 years now.
I don't follow those.
So he's going off to do Blue Origin. He's like doing philanthropy and
the
trying to go to space thing. Yeah. They're building a launch pad over here at Cape Canaveral.
Oh, yeah. He's one of my favorite characters. Hey, DW.
Blue Origin's go up. Let's take Amazon. How do you break that up since it's so big? How would you break that up? Like, so it's just
maybe you would
clothes only, toys only in this business now.
Maybe.
But then they build an app that just brings it all back together to shop in one place.
I can't. Which brings us back to smart TVs. I'm so sick of things being smart because it all just makes everything stupid.
But it's not smart. And I know smart is the worst word they picked. For this stuff, because it's only as smart as you make it.
I turn up the volume on my TV, the whole goddamn thing crashes. That's not smart TV.
No, I go in the bedroom. Too much technology in a thing that's supposed to do one thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, purpose for everything.
But they filled so much stuff in there, so you get all these ads on top. Like when you're playing video games, they can send you ads now.
Yeah. Well, I've heard that.
Over your video game, just because you have the TV on.
I'm done with new game systems. I don't care how attractive.
Oh no, I'm talking about that's the TV, not just the game system.
Well, yeah, that too. Anyway, let's watch this.
So what's the name of the movie?
It happened at the World's Fair. Elvis and Kurt Russell. All of this kind of crap.
How would you like to kick me in the shin?
How would I like to kick you in the shin? Huh? Mister, are you drunk?
No. I'll tell you what. Kick me in the shin real hard, I'll give you a quarter.
Oh, quarter. I thought it was a nickel.
Ah! It's a good one.
That's a good one, boy. It really was.
Adams. They're all nuts.
You're all nuts.
Nice.
Yeah, that's pretty funny.
Yep. Never get monetized now that I used a clip from a freaking Elvis movie.
Yeah.
We would actually need people to watch those. So.
Are you going to do Wolverine 99 or 29?
28?
29? You said there's no, and it was kind of boring. You fell asleep.
I got burned.
Oh, yeah, you did.
Damn it. No, so yeah, I kind of am, but I'm not. It's going to be short, and I'm going to explain.
Well, it sounds like in Wolverine 29, he goes, "Is adamantium rage craziness?"
Oh yeah, it probably does, but I don't get to experience that.
Well, that's what I mean. Are you reading it?
I don't have it. That's the point. It's a random issue. And then I was like, oh, I should buy the series. And then I saw the one that came before it is like one of the most iconic Wolverine covers. And I'm like, well, I'll never afford that.
Yeah. There's no
secretly, I've been going to an unscrupulous website and finding certain comics here and there to do reviews with. Just because it looks crappy when I'm taking the picture with my phone.
That's because you have a shit phone camera.
Well, I just have a crap phone that's old and the battery's dying anyway. But
yeah, I know I have a new phone and the battery's dying.
Oh, really?
It's like it only holds 85% capacity now.
When did you give me this? This was 2007, I think. My iPod Touch has a better battery life than the phone that I have. I charged it like a week ago. It's still
Is that the 9-pin still?
The fat connection. Yeah. Great battery. Still holds music. I still don't have enough space to hold all the music I want. But
I don't think I might be able to do it on my phone. But I have a hard drive that has all my old music on it. I can't get off because it crashed. I've got to get one of those hard drive extractor thingies.
I still have all my iTunes, I think, and iTunes is still on my computer. I don't want to update my computer.
I mean, I have all the stuff that I've bought off iTunes throughout the years still on there because they like how they keep that shit there.
That's yeah.
So I still have all that from then, but I still had all the CDs that I had burned.
Oh, I still got a bunch of those.
All that shit from like Napster back in the day.
Yeah. And when I got this iMac, it didn't have a CD drive or DVD drive, so I had to order that separately because I was like, sometimes I just put on a movie and put it down in the corner and I ink a comic page or whatever.
Yeah, that's always fun.
Yeah. This is another one of those things where it's like we keep shrinking everything and fitting everything into everything else, and it's like, but I like how we used to do it.
I don't mind the shrinking as long as you keep it separate. Like I don't need.
Well, as long as they don't force you to live that way, and everybody wants to force you to live some way.
I think that's just like the fad, you know. I think we're gonna get. I think it's just the fad for like the. I don't know what you want to call the early 2000s to the now, but I think in these 20s,
I call the early 2000s the end of the 90s, actually. Up to
from 2000 to about 2020, there was, like you said, there's no fashion. There was no, like the technology fashion was, it changed so many different times, like from boxy to sleek to boxy again to sleek, no lines, big lines, fat lines. Like it's still trying to figure itself out, but everybody was copying each other as they went along. So there hasn't been like all the cell phones. You can go back and look at the early 2000s and see all the different cell phones, and there's like people got crazy on what you could make a phone into.
I miss those days. And then 7
Apple came out with the iPhone, and now iPhones are all screens. That's all phones are screens.
Yeah.
Steve Jobs was like,
we need to do a cult.
We'll see a different screen.
Well, now they're doing the flimsy film of plastic that's a screen that you can like fold or bend.
Yeah.
And
well, I saw
and I'm like, how is that practical? It's cool, but what do you do with it?
Well, there's the flip phone now. And you open it up and it's just that wide. Yeah, I think Samsung was doing that. I want to see like a scroll where it's just a tube, say like yay long, and it just pulls, and it pulls. It stays
with it though.
Yeah, well, you can hold it and it goes tight, and you can do one-handed.
Do.
2 little kickstands come out so you can put it up, and then it shoots one of those infrared keyboards down that you can just
the laser ones.
Yeah. I mean, there's so many ways technology can go in so many different directions. Like, I want to see some of the Star Trek shit that they've done. Even from the 60s, we should be able to copy. We should be able to do some of that technology right now.
Well, even like the scanner for Doc McCoy has, where he's just like scanning. I feel like that should be a thing already.
Oh yeah, totally. Like I thought about doing. I thought about how the scanner would work, like how they can scan from the ship on a planet and be like, all right, there's 50 billion humans on that here, or aliens on that planet, life forms.
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
are
they
they
always say,
including the insects and other animal life in the forest and flying around? Like, how are they determining what's a life form?
Well, you
There's
would have
higher
to
life form
know.
functions.
Yeah, higher life form is the one that you would have to question, because it's like, oh, there's. Yeah, you could say there's a lot of life down there, because maybe you can
Right.
detect the bioenergy of a creature, but you can't distinguish what that creature is unless you can take a measure of the amount of bioelectricity or whatever going
That's
through.
being generated by that, and then you can.
And how big that is compared.
Well, I mean, as long as you had another, and then you would have to have it to compare to something so you can get an estimate of what it is. So you'd have to catalog everything in the known. Like, say you went to the forest, or I went into my backyard and wanted to do that, I would have to, like, all right, this is a blade of grass, this is a piece of dirt, this is sand.
Well, unless you could
This is
say
different
like,
from that dirt.
yeah, exactly. Well,
This is
and
this.
then,
This is that. This
distinguish
plant is
life.
this plant.
Yeah, there's so much involved in storage.
And then you have to scan it, have all that scanned in, and then, all right, now I'm going to go to my neighbor's backyard and scan their backyard and see what you can identify.
You just have to get like basic
I guess that's how you would get it to learn.
Baselines. You need to get baselines, I think, for like, oh, a bug is this big, it puts out this amount of energy.
But what kind of bug? Like, there's so many bugs that are that big that put out that amount of energy.
Well, you could still say that's a bug. I recognize it from the energy output.
But what about bugologist? It was like, I want to identify all the bugs on this planet. I need to know.
Well, you would just have to, that's why you have the Starfleet with the little scanner, and they go, got it. You got a Pokemon Go guy scanning bugs.
No, everybody, like, there's like 100,000 people on every ship going, all right, go out there.
They're all just like, ah!
That's why there's so many
a new
red
bug
shirts.
detected. Ah!
There's so many red shirts.
And go, what is wrong with your husband?
Dying. They're like, oh, I found a new bug. Stab.
I was at the pool yesterday, and I was leaning against the wall, because I usually just float or like sit and be buoyant, because I got nothing else to do. Once I usually take my spaceship, not this one, but a crappy one, and once I'm bored with playing with that, I just kind of sit there and sit like an alligator.
Some, like, diving rings.
Nah, I don't want to end up with swimmer's ear, but so like I was sitting there, and Andrea came up to me, and there's a bug running along the wall towards me, and she's like, bug, and I turned around, and it just stopped, and I was like, sir, like, he's on the curve of
what
the
kind
wall.
of bug are we talking about here?
I don't know. I still got to look it up. But I was like, sir,
small?
It was like less than an inch.
Okay.
So I blew at it to get him to go away, and he locked his feet. And then I kept blowing at him, and he get like lower. And then eventually I was like, okay, see you later. I guess this is your spot. And then I came back. He's still effing there. And then I took my ship, and I was using the fin, and I was like tapping his butt to get him to move, and he got flat, and like I was like, I can't move him. So I don't know why that was important, but it made me laugh.
Should have put your ship there and then like got your phone and got some pictures.
I didn't have my phone. I thought about it though. Some of the crap I pull out of that pool, man. I saw like a freaking hornet today that was drowned.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's
and that's really all I got for this week.
I'm sorry.
I believe it's been an hour. And
yeah, hour.
I was like struggling for topics, and then all of a sudden it's like, let's talk about Elvis and Kurt Russell, and capitalism and communism and Walt Disney.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the greed of capitalism
that's the
causing the problems. Yeah. But yeah, capitalism works. I mean,
it's the
if you mix
best
it together,
solution
right?
out of a bunch of crappy solution. Well, it's the least crappy solution out of a bunch of crappy solutions.
For the people.
Yeah.
With the government that we have.
Yeah,
It
like until you have a food replicator, you're not going to sell me on communism or
Oh, God, yeah.
socialism. When
No.
you have a machine that can just
God,
produce
yes.
food,
We're good.
then we can start reconsidering our political
Exactly.
theories and make something new. But
Yeah. But no, money makes the world go round, so we all have to have it. Yeah, I understand all that. Yeah, and I agree.
And I meant to bring up the the K99.
Oh, the Hulks of K99.
Yeah, I meant to bring that up. We'll probably talk about it
Yeah.
next week if no one's gonna be here, so it's just gonna be whatever I'm interested in. Yeah,
It
we
pisses
can
me
talk
off when
about
they do
that.
shit like that. I hate it.
Is it definitively a hoax?
No one's been
now?
able to replicate it. So many
Yeah.
people in the U.S. prestige, like universities and institutes, have been like, "Yeah, we can't do it. We've tried. The material they're using is bonkers. Like, it doesn't do anything. It's not a conducting material at all. Even cooled, super cooled, it's still not a conductive material. So,
damn it.
I know.
Or does it work and it's being suppressed? Which I would also
exactly
believe.
like the car that runs on water.
And even the Y files. He talks about conspiracy theories. He's like, I want to believe this stuff. Here's what we can actually prove. You make your own decision or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
But he's like, I think there's a whole episode about like free energy type of stuff, and then people just magically end up dead.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm worried about posting this video.
Oh, it's very creepy. Especially since, what was his name? Tesla created wireless power back in the day.
And stuff.
Well, that was
FBI.
One of the Kennedys or Rockefellers went to his estate and bought everything after he died.
My God, I am so sick of the Rockefellers and
That's
their corrupt.
No, it's the Kennedys.
I'm sure
the
they're
Kennedys
there too, but I always hear
when
about
they got his time machine, and they started going back in time, and that's why the Kennedys are where they're at now.
I thought it was because of prohibition.
No, I don't know.
He started his dad started running booze during prohibition. That's where they made all their money. I heard.
I wouldn't doubt it. I mean, there was so much money to be made in that back then.
That's still a bonkers concept to me. Like they told the nation, you cannot drink. And the nation was like, oh, are you shitting me?
Yeah. I mean, but there's nations that do that still to this day.
Yeah.
Places. And there's counties that are dry counties where you can't go and drink. Utah is like almost the whole state is dry. I don't think you can buy alcohol in it at all. Except for in very selective clubs that you have to be a part of.
Where they sacrifice babies. Oh, what? Yeah. Well, anyway.
So, yeah, I mean, there's not a lot of people like to drink, or not. Everybody likes to put their views.
Force their views on others.
Force their views on others.
Because they want to hear their opinions coming out of your mouth.
Yes.
Correct. I agree. Folks, if you want to follow Steve, because I do have to wrap this up. We still have guests. I
still have to go make dinner. And school starts tomorrow, or continues.
Continues. If you want to follow Steve, he's on the Instagram under SJP Second Toys.
There I am. That's what I do.
Second Toys, boy.
I got some toys and some
skies,
drone stuff. Yeah,
I like these skies.
Clouds.
I like these blue clouds.
Yeah.
And if you want to follow that's not the one. Don't look. That's the regular one.
There's that stuff. Find us
I
and go join it.
You amateur. Like you've never done this for 4 years.
Is that how long we've been doing it?
I don't remember. I can look it up real quick in a second. But it might be 3. If you want to check out snippets from my own cartoony sci-fi comic series, hopefully crowdfunding soon, go to the Real Smacked in the Head on the Instagram.
There it is.
There it is.
The real one. It's the real one.
blows. She blows.
Smacked in the face. I mean, head.
Yeah, smacked in the head. Means you're crazy.
Yeah.
I started consolidating all of my notes for Dancing Girls and Double Barrels, which is the second full story that I should finally at least make an outline of. I have so much stuff. I'm like, well, I guess I've been thinking about this for like 7 years, so now I just drop them all together and they fill in the blanks.
Exactly.
It's craziness.
You get fillers now.
Yeah, you just fill in the blanks. I got to rewrite what happens in the first scene because I was combining so many notes that I was also trying to transcribe what's in my outline I did like last year, and now I'm like, so I transcribed the first scene, and I'm like, this needs work, so make it more action packed and stuff. All right, that's all I got.
Okie dokie, Miss Koki.
All right, think of a creepy topic or something for next week.
Start of Halloween spookiness.
It's still August.
I don't care.
Wait, what's next week? I'm gonna have to skip a week in like 2 weeks, I think. Yeah, probably the 27th. I might have to skip. Just let you know, the heads up. It's like 2 weeks, 2 or 3 weeks. I'm just letting you know.
Why? What else do you have to do?
Crap.
What else do you have to do?
Family stuff that I get volunteered for.
Don't they know you're cranky?
They should know that I'm a hermit. I'm gonna have to go out and get a real job like every other schlub soon.
Yeah, go face people.
Because no one's giving me a graphic design position.
Sorry.
Anyway.
All right, I'm gonna go make dinner.
All right, have fun. I'm gonna play the outros. Save me, Doug McClure.